Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Future is Here webinar sponsored by InterDyn BMI and Microsoft. My name is Mark Torgeson, and I'll be your host today. Just a few housekeeping items. All attendees' microphones are muted for the presentation. Feel free to ask any questions, though, using the chat feature located on the side panel at any time. There will be a short Q&A session at the end of the presentation. All attendees will be unmuted for the Q&A, or you can use the chat feature to enter your question. Your future is here. When I think of the future, I think about being connected. Connected to customers, connected to suppliers, connected to employees, connected to information. If connected is the future, then the future is here with Dynamics GP 2013. Today's webinar will highlight just a few of the features that allow you to connect your business. Now just a few notes about InterDyn BMI, introduce ourselves to you a little bit. We were founded in 1985 and are headquartered in Roseville, Minnesota. We have 7 regional offices and in fact have recently added 2 additional offices, one in Florida and one in Arkansas with the acquisition of Reach Solutions and InterDyn CFO. We also have learning centers in Houston and Roseville. So classrooms where our customers can come in and learn all about Dynamics GP. We also provide online training sessions as well. So please visit our website to check out our schedule there. We have 96 employees and 1,100 customers. We are a Microsoft Dynamics ERP and CRM Gold Certified partner. And from an ERP perspective, are certified on GP, AX, NAV, and SL. We are a multiple-year winner of the Microsoft Inner Circle and President's Club Awards for excellence in sales and service. A little bit about the solutions and services we provide. We do provide industry solutions. With over 1,100 customers, our team has developed expertise in specific industries with many of the same requirements. And this gives us the ability to scale and work efficiently alongside you, providing business-ready best practices that have been proven in the field. From an IT perspective, we provide network and systems consulting to help you assess your infrastructure's ability to support a new business application like Dynamics GP 2013. We help answer questions like, do you have enough bandwidth to support a web-enabled application? We also provide managed services, which essentially allow you to focus your time on your business, not on troubleshooting your IT infrastructure. We also have an experienced team that can help with custom application development and integrations to existing systems. We also have a dedicated help desk. Every customer of InterDyn BMI has access to this help desk. You'll notice it's not a support@interdynbmi.com email address. There is a name associated. We do have a person. Thomas Root is our support specialist, and you can reach him via email or leveraging our online chat feature. And in order to leverage the online chat, all you need to do is visit www.interdynbmi.com and then click on the live chat button down in the lower right-hand corner, and you can begin your support session with Thomas right there. If you're an existing customer of InterDyn BMI, you can also access our customer service managers here. Davey Mahavir is based in Orlando, Florida. And if you're new to InterDyn BMI and are just thinking about implementing a new accounting or business application, an account manager like Brian Campbell can assist you, and he's here as well within the chat feature. I do want to take a moment before the demo starts to talk about a new pricing model. So InterDyn BMI is one of 10 partners in the U.S. That has the ability to sell subscription pricing for GP 2013 and for NAV 2013. By the way, GP 2013 will be released in the first or second week in December here, so just a few short weeks away. We are offering an introductory price of $168 per user per month. There are some conditions, of course. You need a minimum of 3 full users to leverage that price. A 1-year contract, for example. You do have the option to either host the application on site or on your on-premise, I should say, or host it with a hosting provider, either yours or one that we can recommend. One of the nice things about GP 2013 is that it comes with rapid implementation tools. So if we limit the scope of the implementation, we can essentially get you up and running within 3 weeks. The standard modules that are included in this basic standard rapid implementation package are the modules listed on this page. Now the starter pack is provided to you in its entirety for that $168 per user per month. But if you go with one of our standard rapid implementation packages, only the highlighted modules will be implemented. So general ledger with AFA, national accounts, bank reconciliation, payables management, receivables management, customer vendor consolidations, refund checks. A few reports are also provided, as well as Payroll Connect. Once again, you'll own all of these modules and can implement any mix of these, but for that standard base price that you saw on the previous slide, these are the modules that are included. You will notice that human resource management is included with the starter pack, but not implemented for that $94.50 price that you saw on the previous page. But we'd be happy to add any modules a la carte to your statement of work should you have that need. Now for a few of the Dynamics GP 2013 highlights that you'll be seeing in Kurt's demo. First of all, it's web enabled, and that is what provides the connectivity, right? The other nice thing about Dynamics GP 2013 is that it has a flexible user interface and is role-based. So the folks within your organization will get the information that's relevant to their role within the organization, and Kurt will show you that. It also provides a tight integration with Microsoft Office. And from a business metrics perspective, you'll have access to those business metrics that help you make decisions about driving your business. And oh, by the way, since the application is web enabled, you'll be able to consume that information on mobile devices, whether that's a phone, a tablet, or a laptop computer. As I mentioned before, rapid implementation is also available, and we can get you up and going in just 3 short weeks if you stay within that standard rapid implementation package. And we also provide deployment options. So as part of our IT services group, we can come in, take a look at your infrastructure, and determine whether the upgrade of your infrastructure is the path for you, or would hosting be a better solution. So we can help you make those deployment decisions, and Kurt will mention that a little bit during his demo as well. Now a little bit about Kurt Quiggle. Kurt has been with InterDyn BMI for about a year. He is a GP solution architect and project manager. He has 14 years of Dynamics GP experience. On a personal note, he likes to work on old cars, and his current project is a 1983 Datsun 280Z Turbo. And if you've never heard of Datsun, they're known as Nissan today. They changed their name back in the mid-'80s. So here's the current state of Kurt's project. And here is the future dream state of that project. Now this is not unlike many of the situations Kurt finds himself in regarding our customers. Many of our customers start out with a broken down accounting system that is missing parts and won't start. But by the time Kurt is done with them, our customers are driving a shiny new connected business system that can take them anywhere they want to go. So with that, I will turn over the controls to Kurt. Just a moment.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you first for taking time out of your busy day to take a look at Great Plains 2013. As Mark mentioned, I'm going to touch on the web client and role-based functionality within it, how flexible the new interface is. We're going to touch on the business analytics or KPIs. I'm also going to take you through a real quick walkthrough on what rapid implementation tools can do for us during an implementation and why we will be able to get you up and running in a very short period of time. Additionally, we'll talk at the end briefly about some of the deployment options and why that is much more pertinent today than it has been in the past. So what I have up on my screen right now is the new web environment of Dynamics GP 2013, and I'm logged in as the system administrator, and I have access to everything within the system as the system administrator. And particularly, one of the things that we have been able to do now with 2013 is every user can customize their experience within the application. And the tiles that we see within each work center can be rearranged, maximized, changed where we want that focus to be, as well as what that layout would want to include. Maybe I never work with setup information or reports and don't use utilities. I can remove those objects from my screen. And when I'm looking at information within the web interface, again, it's very familiar to our users. The environment is designed to look and act similar to Microsoft's Office products. So the layout as we see it today is very similar to Outlook, with shortcuts in the top left, folder structure in the bottom left, and our work center in the middle of the page. So next, just to demonstrate a little bit about that role-based security, as you notice when I'm in as the system administrator and I'm in a work area, the palettes that are available are quite extensive. Lots of functionality available to me as the administrator. So I'm going to now toggle over to a desktop client where I'm logged in as, again, the system administrator, and we'll see that once again I have that same environment, but what I'd like to do in this environment is quickly log in as a restricted user. This user has been set up in the system as a light user or limited user and only has access to view certain information within the system. So as I navigate back to my sales center, as this refreshes, you will see that information is no longer available to this user. I cannot open a card and edit a customer. I'm only able to view certain information, such as inquiry into payment information, as well as remittance information, and things like that. And this was very simple to set up merely by setting the security to be a limited user. However, on my home page, the business analytics portion of the software is still available. And in this scenario, I will still be able to look at information about the company without having to have access to the entire software. Now in 2013, Microsoft has taken the Business Analyzer component, this piece of the window right here, and stripped it from the application and made it a separate application, which can be deployed again in a web environment to be consumed on a mobile device, as well as on a end user's desktop without logging into Microsoft Dynamics Great Plains. This gives our executive level individuals access to consume information out of the ERP system without actually taking a seat or a license within the ERP system. And we let the individuals who need to be in the system get in and do their work. At this point, I'm going to log back in as my system administrator. And I would like to demonstrate a little bit along the lines of our tight integration to the other Office or Microsoft products. One area that we often hear when we work with ERP users is that they know the information is in the accounting system, but they don't know how to get it out. Microsoft has heard that from us over the years and has provided some ad hoc query tools, namely the Smart List tool. This tool allows our end users to navigate their way into the database information that's available. Here I've pulled a list of my 1099 vendors. And at this point, I could export that to Excel. I could merge this into a Word document to get our W-9 information, things like that, on file very easily. Additionally, when I'm in the sales module and I'm working with a transaction within the system, the reporting tool that is now within the application will also leverage the Office products. So what you'll notice is I have the ability to send my quote document directly in an email from the application, as well as when I print this, I'm going to bring it to my screen. I want you to notice what application opens. We now have a quote within Word, and we have a very nice looking document. I always like to use the word sexy, but it definitely is very professional looking and very modifiable. And once again, as I want to point out, the Business Analyzer, this portion of my desktop will be available externally. And some of the interesting things that can be done, drilling in on information within these, that will be available to our end users as well. And as you see, when I hover over the state of Minnesota, I can drill into that information and see what salesperson controlled that region, as well as drilling deeper in and seeing what makes up those sales as well. And again, that will be exposed outside of the application. But in the light of saving time today, I'm showing it within. So the next area I'd like to move into is how we can now deploy the software more quickly than we used to be able to. In general, when we bring up an ERP system, there's a tremendous amount of information that needs to be input or imported into the application. And Microsoft in the past has made rapid migration tools available, and in this particular case, I'm going to use a rapid migration tool that is designed to work with QuickBooks data, as you can see here. And what we can do with this tool is connect to the data in a QuickBooks deployment and pull it into some spreadsheets, manipulate that information to our needs, and then easily import that information into Dynamics Great Plains. So our first step in the process will be to connect to our Great Plains database. And the company that we're going to import our data into is the QuickBooks company. We're going to establish a new profile for this so we can use it again if we need to. And I'm going to select my QuickBooks database. And the information that is available to me to import, I can pull in master records only, all information. In that sense, it would be open payables, open sales, etc. And for this demo, we'll do all. And now we need to get access into that QuickBooks information. So we will allow access and continue. And now I can export those records from QuickBooks into our rapid deployment tool. At this point, we have the ability to begin to edit that master record prior to putting it into Microsoft Dynamics Great Plains. This allows us to manipulate the information to fit our needs as we move forward, hopefully making it a better and more robust system moving forward. So our editing tool is Excel. And here you can see that we have pulled customer information, vendor information, as well as the chart of accounts will also be available. And for the purposes of my demonstration, I'm going to click on our customers. And I notice that Doug Jacobson is in the system twice. So we won't want a duplicate record within our new ERP system, so I'm going to remove one of those records. Additionally, I can modify information within a record by editing the customer's number or customer's ID. After editing that customer ID and making sure the information is the way I want it, we will save it and close Excel. Next, we see the information of what we have available to bring in. The sales invoices were exported. Purchasing transactions were exported, etc. And now we have the ability to work with our chart of accounts. And rather than take our standard QuickBooks account number, I can begin to add additional segments for further analytics when I get into my financial system. So rather than take one, I'm going to expand it. We're going to create two segments, a department segment. Our second segment will be the main segment. I could also add additional segments if we so choose. Change our sorts. I have to wait for it to catch up. And we change the length of our second segment to 4. And now we see what things look like after we take our 4-digit segment, turn it into 3 segments, and we find that we may want to manipulate those as well. So I added a 1, added a 2, and added a 3. At this point, we can import that information into Microsoft Dynamics Great Plains. So now I'll log into Great Plains. Choosing my QuickBooks company. We'll navigate to our Sales Work Center and open up our customer list. And here we can see that our information is in. We only have a single occurrence of Doug, and we have changed our customer ID for Pertel to Pertel. In the QuickBooks data, this was Pertel Real Estate, and we've now cleaned that up. That's really the information that I wanted to present today, other than we should speak briefly about why hosting versus on-premise is now a much more cost-effective choice for consumers. And it is because the architecture behind Microsoft Dynamics GP was enhanced to allow hosting providers to provide multiple instances of Great Plains within a single server instance and keep it secure from the other customers using that instance. That was an architectural change which allows our hosting providers or yourself to have multiple instances of Microsoft Dynamics Great Plains in a single environment. In the past, our hosting providers had to spin up or create multiple machines and multiple SQL instances in order to host the product, which was additional expense on their part, which they passed on to the customer. With that, Mark, I think I'll turn it over to you to host Q&A.
All right, thank you, Kurt. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box in the slide out window. Just click on the orange arrow at the top. Otherwise, I will unmute the phones and you can ask a question as well. Any questions? You can also email me at marktorgerson@interdynbmi.com, and we'd be happy to schedule a more in-depth demo if you're interested in learning more about GP 2013. So any questions? Great. If not, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today, and happy holidays. Thank you.